What's up, Jabroskis? I'm here. Present. Give me a second. All right. What's up? How's it going? What day of the week is it? Happy Thursday evening. Nailed it. It's been a long day for me, man. I'm going to tell you what. Tomorrow's SpaceX in the News episode is going to be jam-packed. And I haven't even included anything from tonight into my script yet because it hasn't happened yet. I'm not a wizard. But make sure you don't miss tomorrow's episode. It's going to be crazy. Let's go ahead and muster up. Where you from? What you munching on? I'm Kevin, Unky Kev, coming to you from Ohio, land of Neil Armstrongs and corn. Cheerios. Yeah, no intro this time because this isn't a launch. This is a chance for Elon to brag to us about how cool his technology is. We'll find out what exactly is going on, but I have my theories, as I'm sure all of you do. All right, chat. We got Austin McMurtry, Master Chief Austin. What's going on, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Buck Fighting, good to see you. I see a kitten and a box emoji. That's cool. I haven't seen that one before. Carson Reed, yo. Hans, what's going on? Hans. Nothing, Alaska. Hans, since when are you from Alaska? Did you relocate? Lindsay, Ontario. Neighbor to the north. That's the only part of Canada I've ever been to. I've been to Ontario, London, Ontario for a whole 30 minutes, and then I came right back to America. Howdy from Fayetteville, West Virginia, neighbor to the east. RS, thanks for that super chat, brew. Sup, G? What's going on with you, dog? Gangsta. Stuttgart, Germany. Night owling. Oh yeah, I guess it is kind of late there, isn't it? Is Deutschland 5 hours ahead of the East Coast here in the States? I know the UK is, but I have no idea. I never looked into Deutschland. Maybe you're 6 hours ahead. East Texas. Obi-Wan. Did you decide not to go to this, to this, whatever this is, or were you just not invited? I'm not going because I got the email from SpaceX yesterday, I think, and Ohio's quite a trip. Besides, I'm going to be going there for the super heavy launch, hopefully, if I time it right. I will not be going to SLS, though. That's just too much traveling. For some reason, the wife wants me around lately. I mean, she might even join us for this live stream. She said she wants to, so we might be seeing her. I don't know what's wrong with her. Don't know why she wants to spend so much time with me lately. But every time I leave her to go on these trips, and I leave her with the dogs, I always come back and I have to fight for my life. She's ready to rip my head off. Orlando. Northern California, not... Northern California had to stipulate, not LA. Okay. Well, I assume so because you're still alive. Place is a freaking war zone like every other big liberal city in America right now. You know, crime's up in most major cities, blue cities, over 100% in the last couple years since they defunded the police. Anywho, is she pregnant? She better not be. If she is, I'm leaving her because it's not mine. I'll probably leave her even if it is mine. Just kidding. That was a bad joke. Although tempting. Kansas City. Having a party and SpaceX. Party on. Party on, dude. Naples. Wales. Is anybody munching on anything this evening? I already had my din-dins. I had a breakfast burrito, Costco brand, and these weird chicken and cheese half panini sandwich things. I don't know. I just throw things in the air fryer these days and I let it rip. That is my life. All right, here we go. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Oreos. Oh, double stuffed or regular? If you're going regular, then I hate you, Kevin. Hot dogs. Are those cheese-filled hot dogs or just regular hot dogs? Do you make them into coney dogs? If not, if you just eat boring hot dogs or you put them in mac and cheese, I hate you. Turkey sandwich. I had a turkey sandwich for my lunch. Apple. Wow, aren't you healthy? Corn nuts. You guys are too healthy for me. Pie. There we go. What kind of pie? A glass of blood. Or wine. He's either a vampire or a woman. Just kidding, Stefan. Pizza. There we go. What kind of pizza? You better not put pineapple on her. I'm just going to end this stream. As SpaceX starts it. Ooh, look at all the people there without me. Freaking traitors. Let's go big screen, yo. Boom away. I got to turn that volume down or I'm going to probably get demonetized, even though I'm not monetizing this right now. See if we spot any familiar faces. Look, they even have sparklers. I bet that's T-Mobile money, bro. So just a heads up, once this thing starts and Elon starts talking, I'm going to hush up so we can all listen in because I want to actually learn what's going on, especially for tomorrow's episode. They got a DJ and everything. Dude, this is better than the Starship presentation I went to. We didn't have no DJ. Look at that. Oh, I know where they're at. They're over by the construction yard. Right there where see these Airstreams right here? These are actually made in Ohio. I've been to that place a few years back. I would say they're quality brand just because they're made in Ohio, but I don't know if that's true. They're good enough for SpaceX, obviously. Palm trees. Man, I want some palm trees, dude. I love palm trees. The wife won't let me grow any here in Ohio because apparently they die in the winter. I'm not a botanist. I just taught it. A mouse burger. What the hell's a mouse burger? That sounds gross. Austin McMurtray. So Lab Padre is live streaming there. Why? I would hope so. I'll have to check that out. By the way, locals members, I do have the locals chat up. Don't mean to forget about you over there. Keith Mabe, this is going to be good. Josh and Bama. Interesting this is. I like the wording of that sentence and the 3 thinking emojis. So Fox Pup has a theory what this is all about. It doesn't take a genius, who is getting cocky already, to see the writing on the wall here. Nice biblical reference. T-Mobile is a rather urban-centric cell phone service. I guess they are. I wouldn't know. Although my brother, they just got T-Mobile like 2 weeks ago, so maybe he knows something we don't. Check out the security in the background. I used to do that. Not for Elon, but I won't tell you what cell phone service I have because I don't want to give those commies any publicity. But chat, let me ask you, do any of you have my Patriot Mobile? Because that's the one I've been thinking about going to. Now that T-Mobile and SpaceX are teaming up, who the hell knows what I'm going to be doing. This is not good. Is this me or is this on there? This might be on their end. I think that's on their end. Yeah, we're still live. Yeah, but if you have my Patriot Mobile, let me know how it is, chat, because I was thinking about switching to that. Now it might be T-Mobile, depending on what this is about. And what I think this is about, it has something to do with their SpaceX's little FCC thing, filing a few weeks back that we covered in SpaceX in the news about how they're looking to get into the cell phone business, and this might be a way to scratch T-Mobile's back while they scratch theirs. But again, we'll find out here in a few, so there's really no point in speculating at this point. Come on in. Did you bring your headphones? Why do you have your laptop?
Work to do.
You're going to work during this live stream?
Well, it's been a rough day.
Okay. Okay. Hold on while I get her situated.
I'm very tired.
You want to tell us why you're tired?
No. Because my job sucks.
She's tired because her job sucks.
No, I love my job. I just hate days like today.
Yeah, before we went to bed last night, she got an email about something and said it was very important, and then that she had to be up at like 5 in the morning. So I don't know what it's about, and I've learned by now not to ask lawyer stuff.
Do you have candy?
I don't have candy, no. I learned not to hide it in here because you find it and eat it. They're just playing like techno music right now.
I want to hear the techno music.
I can't play it or we'll get hit with a copyright or something.
I could sing for you.
Okay.
See, look, my poor little head. I'm so stressed out. Look at my poor little head.
I mean, you're breaking out from the stress,
like a
huh?
15-year-old.
You need to take a chillax pill.
You need a chillax.
Girl. T-Mobile, woot woot. Doesn't look like anybody has My Patriot Mobile. Is that what it's called? Patriot Mobile?
Doggo cam, please.
I didn't hook it in. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? They have fireworks. We didn't even get those for the Starship presentation.
We could do that.
No, I set off smoke bombs for the 4th of July and you yelled at me.
Because you shot it.
I didn't shoot anything.
Dog,
I did not shoot it at the dog. The dog ran towards it.
And I told you the dog was going to pick it up. And he did.
He tried. And he sends the whisker, but he's fine.
Yeah. Did you fix your printer?
You can try, but not right now.
That's not my...
All right, we're going to do a poll. Is Elon... It's hard doing this off to the side. All right. There we go. Polls up. Per your request, go ahead and answer it at your own apparel.
Wait. That's not a Kevin poll. That's
it's
like
not.
A real
it's an
poll.
actual poll because I really want to know what they think.
Answer it. All right.
Look, they're all waving to me. What's up, guys?
Wait, so what are they? That guy is waving, just that one rando as soon as you said that. So wait, what are they launching this thingy?
They're not launching anything.
Then why am I up here?
I don't know. I told you this wasn't a launch. I said they're having some weird presentation with T-Mobile. And you were like, ooh, I'll come.
Listen,
I'm like, okay, I don't know why.
He lures me up here every single time saying I'm going to see this thing land. There's not even anything launching today.
So I apologize for those of you that tried to watch the last Starlink launch with me on Rumble. I was out doing yard work. I was mowing the lawn and I was whacking some weeds off. And I was milking the weeds. And I totally lost track of time. And I completely missed the launch. So the good news is there is another Starlink launch. He's got a squeak ball on Saturday. SpaceX just announced. And we'll be doing that one on Rumble. And hopefully I don't forget to set a reminder like I normally do on my phone so I don't forget to actually watch the live stream. What's up, Andy in Colorado? Good to see you, bro.
I mean,
BFR Andy.
Doesn't that tell you what it is right there?
That I wrote that.
Well,
She's looking at the description on locals of this video. Actually, I guess technically SpaceX wrote that, but I edited it. I saw some Teslas right up right there. Is Elon not in one of them? Nah, he rides shoddy and like Escalades. That's not a joke. I've seen, like, at least in Starbase's early days before it was Starbase, we'd see Elon riding around in these black SUVs all the time. They weren't Teslas. But I think he might have learned it's better for his image if he actually rides around in his own cars. I saw a video of a Tesla. No, it wasn't a Tesla. It was just an EV. I don't know what company made it. But it was at a charging station. And I don't know if you guys saw this. Maybe it's older. I just happened to come across it. But as it was charging, like a box truck drove up right next to it. It didn't look like an EV box truck. But all of a sudden, once the box truck rides up next to it and parks at the charging station, the EV car that was charging just catches fire and the battery like shoots out flames and everything just goes up in flames. I was like, that seems safe. I wonder how often that happens.
Whose charging station was it? Who owned it? Was it?
I don't know. And it wasn't a Tesla. Just to be
ChargePoint?
clear about that. I don't know. She's in energy law, so she knows about these kind of things. Look at that guy's cowboy hat. It's very bright. Obviously, he's not a real cowboy because it'd be dirty.
You need a cowboy hat, Kevin. Hi, Pup. Hi, Poops. Hi, Fan.
If I get a cowboy hat, you'd have to call me. You'd have to call me Arthur Morgan. He's my favorite cowboy.
Such a little ham.
Way better than Clint Eastwood. What are they saying? All right, they still got music going on, so I'm just going to read this to myself. Everyone else can read it to themselves. If you can't read, then suffer.
I have something funny to tell you, Kevin.
What's up?
So I had to do like a spotlight for tomorrow's. Hey, did you see that? For tomorrow's like weekly memo or like weekly newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they asked me was like, my favorite meal to cook is. Do you know what I answered?
What? Hot Pockets?
No.
Your favorite meal to cook is nothing because you don't cook.
Right. I wrote unwrapping snacks.
Unwrapping snacks is how you cook. Yeah, that's unwrapping the snacks I buy.
Candy. Although you don't have any in here.
No, I don't.
Kevin.
I have a roller. Thank you. Oh, check out the gator.
What's everybody else drinking?
What's everybody else drinking?
Yeah, that could be your poll. Are you drinking right now?
I already asked. I asked them what they were munching on.
That's not drinking.
You hit my earpiece and it went deeper into my ear canal.
Sorry.
That's domestic assault.
I'm
Call the police.
I'm out of control today.
Steve likes Arthur Morgan. I just played Red Dead Redemption 2 for the third time through a couple days ago. It's fun. Meg2 Sith, good to see you. Jumped in on Locals 2. Good to have you.
Oh my god, I just found a typo in this.
In your contract.
It's not mine.
You found your own typo.
No, it's not mine, these idiots.
She wants to make sure everybody knows it's not her typo.
It's not mine.
This one is, like, if you follow me on social media and all of a sudden I, like, tweet something, but then it gets deleted and I just retweet it, it's because I found a typo and I know I won't hear the end of it because of her.
No, you will not.
So I have to correct myself. Oh, we got a T-Mobile guy on stage.
Please welcome T-Mobile CEO, Mike Sievert.
Let me know how the volume is, guys.
Good evening,
It's good,
everybody.
Kevin.
Not you.
How you
No one
doing?
cares about you.
I hope you're all happy to be here like I am. Feeling good? Thank you to the SpaceX team and Elon for welcoming us all to Starbase for this big announcement. I have to tell you, 2 months ago, I gave a little preview of this without a lot of people knowing that I did. I foreshadowed it during the announcement of our latest Un-carrier move at T-Mobile that we call Coverage Beyond. And I told the public then that T-Mobile's mission as a company, our corporate mission, is to be the best in the world at connecting customers to their world. And that groundbreaking move, Coverage Beyond, was all about connecting people beyond the reach of our cellular network. With that move, we became the first company of our kind worldwide to offer ubiquitous global cellular high-speed data built right into our most popular plan. 220 countries around the world connected to cellular partners.
I will say, it's
that
kind of
we have.
genius for this
And
T-Mobile
we
president
announced that
guy
we'd connect you when you're
to
on
team up
your
with
way
Elon, because this
by
is great
partnering with
publicity
all
for
the
them.
major airlines in the United States for built-in Wi-Fi
It could be a shit
for the
announcement,
entire
but
flight.
since he's
at
on this
no
stage,
extra
he's gonna
charge.
get a lot
that
more
was
customers
Coverage
now.
Beyond. And tonight, we're taking things together with our new partners at SpaceX, a huge, giant leap forward. Because tonight we are announcing a technology alliance that we call Coverage Above and Beyond. And it's big because it is about solving the biggest pain point in the over 40-year history of our industry. This partnership has a vision that is the end of mobile dead zones. Listen,
Asterisk
this
for T-Mobile.
is a big pain point. Our country is vast. In fact, it's the 4th largest country in the world by landmass. There are 500,000 square miles uncovered by any cellular network. And this is important. It's important for safety. It's important for connectivity with the people we love. It's important for people in rural areas, for first responders, for sports people like the people in the video. But honestly, it's important for all of us. Because, you know, we have all, every single one of us, driven down that windy country road through the hills and dales, beyond the reach of any cellular network, and begun to wonder, what would happen? Am I okay?
It's the road leading into our
Is this a
little
time?
town.
This is not a time when I want my car or my bike or something or my person to fail. This is important. And so this partnership is about imagining a different future. Imagining a future where if you have a clear view of the sky, you are connected on your mobile phone. Because this is a technology partnership about dedicating a slice of T-Mobile's mid-band PCS
He said
spectrum
con activity.
to be
Terry just
integrated
called him
into
out on that a second
Starlink
ago, too.
satellites launched next year, so that our vision becomes that you can connect with your existing phone. That is incredible. Because it's a lot like putting a cellular tower in the sky, just a lot harder. And that's why we're here with the world experts at SpaceX. Because we're using a piece of spectrum that your phone already knows. It's a piece of spectrum your phone already knows how to connect to. In fact, the vast majority of phones out there, our aspiration is for them to work right out of the gate with this. And so this is something that begins next year. We will enter beta, we believe, as soon as late next year with messaging, MMS, and even messaging apps, so that you can, with your existing phone, beyond the reach of any cellular network, be connected. And beyond that, we'll keep going. We're going to go after data, we're going to go after voice, and we're going to connect people all across this country. In the lower 48, in vast parts of Alaska, in Hawaii, in Puerto Rico, in territorial waters, and even vast parts of the world's oceans. Does that sound good to you?
Wow. Justin DeLong, you get a sat phone and you get a sat
And it's
phone.
also
pretty much, yeah.
Something that we'd like to work in all the territories of foreign nations as well. And so this is, in addition to something we're doing in the country, a call to carriers worldwide. Tonight's announcement is an offer for reciprocal roaming with carriers worldwide. If they would like to do something similar to what we're doing with mid-band spectrum dedicated to SpaceX's Starlink constellation, we will be able to offer reciprocal roaming to them so that when those people come and visit the United States and go off the grid into the national parks, they'll be connected too. And likewise, when American citizens travel to those countries, they'll be connected. Our vision and our dream is ubiquitous global connectivity. Now, at T-Mobile, we're the Un-carrier. So while we're not here to announce a product tonight, it's a technology alliance, I have to foreshadow for you that I would expect the pricing for this service to be the Un-carrier's favorite price. The price that we've made famous, which is that we expect on our most popular plans for this service to be included for free.
What? Liar.
And
Liar.
there is no company in the world I would want to
Look at the
trust
fine
with
print.
a vision this big to partner with us to aspire to dream these dreams than the most sophisticated and advanced
Elon.
space organization in the world.
Where's Elon? There
and
he is.
its leader, SpaceX and Elon
Dude.
Musk. So please welcome Elon
This
to
is
the
going to
stage.
make T-Mobile bigger than any other carrier. Guarantee it. Unless, I wonder if they have like an exclusivity deal. Because if Verizon wants in on this, then Verizon will be big too. This is a big deal.
So, yeah, welcome to Starbase. So, it's something that we really want to emphasize because I think there might be some confusion out there. Is that this is the Starlink second generation satellites will be able to broadcast direct to cell phones. So the cell phones you're holding up there, it will be able to transmit directly to your cell or mobile phone. So. Now this won't have the kind of bandwidth that a Starlink terminal would have, but it will enable texting. It will enable images, and if there aren't too many people in the cell zone, you could even potentially have a little bit of video. So the important thing about this is that it means there's no dead zones anywhere in the world for your cell phone, and we're incredibly excited to do this with T-Mobile. It's really great to do this. So, but we do want to work with other partners in other parts of the world, and really enable this as a function anywhere. And we've all read about somebody who's, say, been hiking and got lost and perhaps died of thirst or exposure. Or someone that got stuck in a blizzard and froze to death.
We can go find them.
You could conceivably get stranded on a desert island and be talking to a basketball.
It's a volleyball. Give me Wilson.
And,
We're going to find you. We're going to track your data.
but now you can call for help. So
It's a
The
volleyball.
thing that I think is really profound about what we're announcing today is that it will save lives. And we will
Heaps.
no longer read about these tragedies that happen where people get lost, and if only they could have called for help, they'd be okay. So I think what we're doing here is profound. It's going to massively improve people's convenience, and it's going to save lives. So it's incredible. Yeah.
The question is, will the government want to get involved?
The Save Lives line just turns me off of it.
And
Stop.
It's for
Well,
your
you
safety.
you don't leave the
the way
house.
we're doing
Gary.
this
For
is
your
with
safety.
really quite big antennas. So so people might be wondering what technology is necessary to make this work. And in order to make this work, you have to have, as you might expect, very big ears. So big antennas on the satellites and powerful antennas, and you need a lot of satellites. But that's kind of what we have with the Starlink Gen 2 satellites. So it's sort of a perfect addition to the Starlink satellites. Like I said, we're incredibly excited to be pioneering this revolutionary new technology with T-Mobile. So.
All right, conference over.
Why did they have this announcement?
So if people might be wondering, what do I need to do to make it work?
Advertising.
Well, you don't need to sort of point it at the sky and like follow the satellite or anything like that. We're confident that it will be able to work if it's in your pocket or if you're in your car. Certainly, if you're walking outside or if you just pull your cell phone out, it'll work great. But we think even in your pocket and in your car,
Yep.
it'll
Jimmy
work,
Johns, the lawyer wife,
well.
said you're exactly
And
right.
we think probably
Yeah.
up to 2 to 4 megabits per
I
cell.
mean, we're
zone.
already seeing that
So
with
that's,
Starlink. With,
thousands of
Viasat.
voice calls and millions of
And,
text messages.
Dish Network.
So, I think this is a really a massive game changer. I hope that I'm being maybe a little repetitive on some of these things because I sometimes wonder, like, is the profundity of what we're saying actually going to, because, will the public understand this? Hello, public. Hello, public. Because those in the audience from T-Mobile and SpaceX obviously understand what we're talking about. Is really a really big announcement. But I hope the public understands the magnitude of the announcement as well. It's in a nutshell, it's no more dead zones, and that's what it comes down to. So.
It won't like work awesome on your phone, but it's enough to like make sure you're never stranded and dying. You'll still use like normal cell service when
All right.
possible.
So
you
first
can watch
question that
videos.
came in advance from somebody in the press was, do I need a special T-Mobile plan? And as I said in my remarks, we're not here to announce the product yet, but my vision for this is that on our most popular plans, we're just going to go ahead and include this. And we feel like that's what the Un-carrier does. That's important. Now there may be low-cost plans that don't include it, and there our aspiration is to charge a monthly service fee that will be far less than the monthly service fees charged by today's satellite connectivity services. But for the most popular plans at T-Mobile, our vision is to just go ahead and include it for free, just like we did with the global connectivity for our cellular roaming partners all around the world.
So
Peeps.
Starlink satellites have to be reprogrammed to communicate using T-Mobile's radio band. Actually, we need to do more than simply reprogram the satellites. We are constructing special antenna. Like I said, they're actually very big antenna that are also extremely advanced. They're the most advanced phased array antennas in the world, we think. And it has to be, the antennas have to be extremely advanced because they've got to pick up a very quiet signal from your cell phone. And you can imagine if that's like cell phone, that signal's going to travel 500 miles and then be caught by a satellite that's traveling 17,000 miles an hour. And the satellite's going to compensate for the Doppler effect of moving so fast. So this is really quite a difficult technical challenge. But we have it working in the lab, and we're confident this will work in the field. So it's actually quite a lot of extra hardware on the satellites, and it's also a lot of software, yes. It's a hard problem. That's why it's not been solved before.
breathe a little louder, please.
So the question is the invitation for all carriers across the world or just the
Thank
U.S.
you.
to start?
Oh, there you go.
You know, one of the beautiful things about satellites is that they orbit the Earth. And so, you know, our mutual view was the more companies around the world we can get signed up for this, the way T-Mobile is signing up for it tonight, the better. Because, and what we're offering is reciprocal roaming, so that our spectrum, which will be transmitted by the satellites all around the United States, including territorial waters, vast portions of Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, big swaths of the ocean potentially, will be available to visitors in the United States that have carriers all over the world. And our view is that the best way to do this would be to ask them to also participate, find a piece of mid-band spectrum in their country from their carrier that they can dedicate to this in partnership with SpaceX, and then our customers would benefit from the same thing when our customers visit their country.
Just
And
other
that's
countries'
one way this
carriers,
could roll
not
out.
any
And so
more
tonight's
carriers in the United
message is a
States. They don't
call
want
to those
competition
carriers
here,
to
right?
Did
get
he
involved
say
and join the party.
All countries, including the
yeah,
United States,
so,
or not? I thought he did.
So this is an open invitation to carriers around the world. You know, please get in touch with us, and we'd love to partner with you and enable this globally. So, yeah.
All right. So are they inviting Verizon, or are they inviting, you know, Mint Mobile?
Next question right in front of us. Will
Patriot
Starlink
Mobile,
handle any of T-Mobile's
AT&T?
backhaul transport? Well, we're open to that, and we're partners now. So, you know, yeah. And
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, and you know, it's I'm a Starlink customer, so I use the Starlink service right now, and it has blown my mind. I mean, it's an amazing service with massive capacity and speed and in my experience, fantastic reliability. And so, you know, I do think there's an
FCC will have to
opportunity as
approve
we
this.
reach further and further into certain rural areas to make that the way we reach people with full voice data and messaging services. And so, you know, certainly we're open to that.
I don't see a lot of hands.
You want to do? Yeah. Okay. Does participating messaging apps mean iPhone users on this Starlink connection will be on iMessage as usual, and Android users will be on RCS? You know, we haven't actually we just announced this moments ago, we haven't actually begun working with other companies as to how they will integrate.
Don't ask
with us. The
questions.
reason
We
said
just want you to know
select
about it,
messaging
so
apps
you
is
can
because
join T-Mobile.
It's a bit of a technical
briefing,
problem
no questions.
that we need help from
He
the
should be
partner
Biden's
with
press
in order
secretary.
To separate
No
messaging
questions.
We don't
traffic
think
from
these are
all other
responsible.
data traffic.
You just
We've
walked
done
off the
this
stage.
before with prior initiatives at T-Mobile. We know how to do it, but sometimes we need a little bit of involvement from partners. We also need to make sure that they're working with us in a payload-aware way. And so our opportunity over this next few months is to open up a program and invite messaging apps to participate such that they are reaching our network in a way that our network can see and separate the messaging traffic and make it available to participate in this service right out of the gate. So that's the vision. And our partners in the internet have worked with us before. Years ago, we did Music Freedom, and we were the first company to allow you to stream all your music free at T-Mobile back when you sold data by the data bucket. And so we've been through this journey before, and that's basically how it'll work.
Yeah, I think an important thing though is that you will not need to get a new phone. The phone you currently have will work. So, yeah.
That's because they're putting the new technology on the Starlink satellites
Yeah. So
themselves.
some audience questions.
Yeah, hey guys. Thanks for doing this. Question for Elon. Eric Berger from Ars Technica. You said the Gen 2 antennas are very big. Can you talk about how big those are? Sort of.
So big.
But I mean, NASA has had some issues with another company's antennas because they were really big. So I'm just trying to get a sense of like how big they are, and then like how many of these can actually fit in the Falcon 9 payload fairing, because you've been talking about launching that in addition to Starship. So thanks.
We're going to talk about Gen 2 and Falcon 9 tomorrow.
This service will be primarily a Starlink V2 satellite. The Starlink V2 is the main body of the satellite is about 7 meters long, so call it maybe 40% longer than an SUV. And then the antennas that we're talking about here would be supplemental to the KU and KA antennas that we're currently using on Starlink 1 and to the laser links. So the Starlink 2 satellites, we intend to have KAKU, improved KAKU, and obviously the laser links. And then in addition, we would fold out the sort of cell spectrum antenna that would be also quite large, so on the order of 5 or 6 meters on a side, so roughly 25 square meters.
And then can you get those in the Falcon 9 payload fairing?
The Starlink V2 is meant for Starship. We might, yeah, it's meant for Starship, like those things.
Are they backtracking on the Falcon 9 plan already?
The Starlink V2 satellites are very large and too big to fit in a Falcon 9. But we are actually looking at an interim solution, which is like a sort of Starlink V2 Mini that would maybe launch if the Starship program is delayed longer than expected. Would launch a sort of a smaller Starlink V2 kind of Mini that would fit on a Falcon 9.
Well, that clears that up for tomorrow. Because we thought it was going to be a sure thing that they would launch the Starlink V2s on the Falcon 9, but it turns out they're only going to do that if Starship gets delayed.
It's nice to be here. Thanks for putting this on. I'm with TLPN Network and the Launchpad Official. So I guess the first question, I just have like a question about the technical difficulties that you ran into getting up to this point and actually being able to decide that this was worth pursuing. Like, what was the hardest technical hurdle to get past? And before beta, is there going to be an opportunity for like emergency services or anybody to kind of get their hands in on this to see how well it works?
So yeah, as soon as we have the satellites in orbit, we will try to enable them to connect to cell phones for emergency services. So you actually don't need, unlike a real-time connection, you don't need to have the full constellation of satellites active in order to transmit text messages or email, for that matter. So any kind of asynchronous communication will work even if there's only one satellite. Now, of course, we are constrained by regulatory approval. But from a technical standpoint, it should work even when there's only a handful of satellites in orbit, because of the asynchronous nature of text messaging and email. You might just have to wait, I don't know, a half an hour maybe for the thing to go through, but it should still work from early on.
Awesome, thank you.
You just said there's regulatory issues, so that answers some of your guys' questions about the
Louis
FCC.
Balderas with Lab Padre Media.
Hey, it's Louis!
I see.
Had a couple of off-topic questions, but I'm going to skip those.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on topic, otherwise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Does he have to
So,
ask, or is that a tag?
With this new technology,
It's a tag. It's
will
like-
this eliminate international plans? And you talked about download speeds. What about upload speeds?
Yeah, this will not. I do want to.
It won't handle upload.
Like this is an amazing thing that we're unveiling, but I do want to make sure that it's
No details.
understood in the right context.
It's not that powerful.
So,
Or won't be.
The size of the cell it will be quite large compared to the space-based cell system. The area of the cell will be large compared to a terrestrial system. So this is really meant for places that don't have cell tower connectivity. Because although it's like maybe 2 to 4 megabits capability, that's what the capability is for the entire cell. So if you've got, we're talking about like 1 to 2,000 voice calls per cell, but that cell is going to be quite large. And so it really is, it's not a substitute for ground cell stations, because ground cell stations, especially in urban and suburban areas, will definitely be superior to what we're talking about here. This is really meant to provide basic coverage to areas that are currently completely dead.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you won't die alone on the mountain anymore. You'll at least have somebody to talk
Good evening,
to while
Christian
you're
Von
dying.
Pricing with KRGV here in West Local, local affiliate. I wanted to ask about situations that we have here in the Rio Grande Valley and in South Texas. the winter freeze, hurricane, big floods, situations where we kind of run out of bandwidth, we start losing cellular connectivity. It affects everyday people, it affects the first responders. So with what you were talking about earlier, is it going to help assist with that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in. It's one of the big benefits of this is redundancy. And one of the big priorities of our industry, and I know of the FCC who regulates us, is redundancy. And one of the things about starting next year with messaging, as opposed to trying to plunge right into voice and data right away, is that with messaging, we should be able to handle a lot of messages, many, many thousands of messages that can be sent. And so when you do have outages that happen through natural disasters or otherwise, there's an opportunity for people at scale to be connected in real time. And Elon was saying there could be a lag at first, but he's talking about before we reach commercial service, right? So eventually, as we hit commercial service and even beta, this is real-time messaging where you send a message, you get an answer. You know, you're connected. And by limiting it to messaging in the early going, it allows us to address use cases like that, complete redundancy to cellular networks, which are subject to the weather because they're here on planet Earth.
Yeah, but this really is a big deal. It's a great question to ask because, yeah, even if an entire region or country was lost connectivity because of a severe hurricane or floods or fires or tornadoes, earthquakes. There's so many natural disasters, obviously. You would actually still have, even if all the cell towers were taken out, your phone would still work.
Thank you.
So they can ask a Starship question because, like, I would phrase it, okay, so...
Hi, it's
Let's see what
Evelyn
she's
at
gonna say.
Evalo for Tasmanian.com. How many Starlink users can a single Starlink satellite support?
So in this context for this application, we're talking about roughly 2 to 4 megabits per cell zone. So it depends on how many people are in that cell zone. You divide that bandwidth by the number of people in the cell zone and who are using it simultaneously. So since a voice call is about 2 kilobits, that's 1 to 2,000 simultaneous voice calls, or there's hundreds of thousands of text messages that could be sent depending on the length of the text message.
Thank you.
So you ask, all right.
We have some coming in while you're coming to the stage. We have some coming in from online at Isaac Swede. How will the phones connect to Starlink? Any special hardware required? I think Elon got at this a little bit. One of the
We
beauties
answered
of
that
this
question,
approach
ya douche.
is that we are using existing T-Mobile mid-band PCS spectrum, some of the most tried and true spectrum there is, and we own it nationwide. It's one of the pieces that we own contiguous on every single corner of the country. So that allows us to then dedicate that, working together, to the constellation that Starlink operates so that we are seeing those satellites from every corner of the country. You know, as we said in the remarks, if you have a clear view of the sky, our vision is you're connected.
All right, we've heard this. So my question would be if I were there, okay, so this service requires Gen 2 Starlink. None have been launched yet because that would require Starship. When is Starship going to attempt its first orbital launch? Boom! Nailed it. Someone needs to ask it. Come on.
From the satellite. And it'll think it's connected to a cell tower because that phone is using industry standard technology communication protocols, and it has the spectrum already built in. At least the vast majority of phones in circulation today do.
Yeah, it's designed to just fully emulate a cell tower, and it has to do. There's quite a bit of complex hardware and software in that because it is moving so fast. They're traveling overhead at 17,000 miles an hour. Normally, a cell phone tower does not travel at 17,000 miles an hour. So the phone's so we actually have to adjust the signal to account for something called the Doppler effect, which is sort of a increase in frequency as you comes towards you, and decrease as it goes away.
I'm the Doppler effect.
But anyway, it works.
A brain damaged choo-choo train?
It's complicated, but it works, and no extra hardware is needed.
Ask the Starship question. Yeah, amateurs.
Hi, Paul Michaels with Ocean Camera Space Corp. So both companies are going to work together, kind of contribute different infrastructure together to build a bigger network and stuff. How do you see this maybe going further into the solar system? Maybe future partnership there?
Well, we'd love to have T-Mobile on Mars.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to get T-Mobile after this. Their stock just went way up. Just because people want to be a part of SpaceX as much as they can, especially
That might be the
we
last
nerds.
Okay.
You guys can't ask good
thanks,
questions.
everyone.
Come on.
And we look forward to providing you with this great service and working together with T-Mobile to bring it to you. So, yeah.
Please clap. All right. So to sum up, it's a big deal. Basically, it gets rid of any dead spots on the planet, right? So long as, or at least mostly, depending on if carriers around the other countries, jump in on this, but especially around the United States. But at first, it's not going to be all that powerful. Like they said, before it even gets to beta, if you try it, you won't be able to, you have to wait. There will be lag before you can actually get a signal from the satellites. And then it will obviously get more powerful as they roll into beta and out of beta and they start actually offering the service, and more Starlink satellites with these big ass antennas are put on them. But Elon said right at the beginning, to kind of mitigate all these expectations, that you're not going to be able to like watch videos or stream from Antarctica on your phone. Definitely, at least not first. Maybe once they get like 40,000 satellites up there, maybe. I don't know. So it will be primarily just like an emergency kind of thing, or your phone drops out of signal and it just connects to these Starlink satellites, and you can send texts at first and then eventually phone calls. But yeah, I think this more so than anything was a way for them to boost T-Mobile's mojo. It's definitely going to get them a lot more customers for sure. Even though like someone who's a homebody like us, who don't go climbing mountains and fighting mountain lions or whatever, ice skating on Alaskan ponds, we wouldn't need the service. But still, there's going to be people like this that love SpaceX and what Elon's doing. They're going to drop whatever carrier they have and they're going to go to T-Mobile. So it was it's a big deal, but it was a pretty smart business move for the T-Mobile guys for sure. And yeah, like I said before the stream started, this was something that SpaceX had filed with the FCC. They were looking into doing Starlink Mobile is what I called it. Maybe, they were going to have to fight Dish Network and other carriers about the spectrum they were going to use for it. Maybe they quickly found out it wasn't worth the fight. Maybe they still plan on doing it. I don't know. But maybe this was like an alternative way they discovered. Maybe T-Mobile found out about it, their president then, and contacted Elon after they heard about them being interested in going mobile with Starlinks. So yeah, it seems like they rushed this out pretty quickly. They just wanted to get the word out right away before they had too much information, before they really even got it off the ground. And yeah, they are going to have to get a regulatory approval through the FCC. So they seem pretty confident though. So in a year or two, maybe it'll be like Starlink phones. Yeah, maybe I'd probably give it. Yeah, maybe depending on how soon Starship gets up, so we can carry those V2 satellites up. And what was interesting, what I found most interesting about this, besides the fact that they were teaming up, is that Elon said they're still expecting to use Starship to place these Generation 2 satellites into orbit. Now, what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, I'm going to have to edit my script now, is that when they filed with the FCC, it read like they were expecting to start using Falcon 9 to carry version 2 Starlink satellites up as well. Now, those were supposed to be just for Starship because they're big, like he was saying. But according to this FCC filing, they were going to rearrange the components of each version 2 Starlink satellite so they could actually fit inside of a Falcon 9 fairing. Well, what Elon just said today that I found interesting is that they're only looking at doing that as a backup if Starship doesn't launch in a reasonable timeline. So I'll have to add that into tomorrow's video. What are you guys feeling? She's balls deep in her work. Why are you here?
'Cause you invited me, Kevin, and this is my
You
house.
invited yourself. Get out. No, it's fine. I appreciate you. I always get more viewers when you're here for some reason.
'Cause I'm nicer
People are
than you.
gluttons for punishment.
I'm nicer than you. Are you gonna feed me?
I already ate, so I'm good.
That wasn't my question.
No, there's snacks you can mooch off me, but I'm not feeding you. T-Mobile, not wokeism bootlickers. I don't know much about T-Mobile. I know there's T-Mobile, there's Patriot Mobile, there's AT&T. I think there's still a thing, right? Verizon, obviously. I won't tell you who I have right now, but I don't like them, so I don't want to give them any publicity. Will I switch to T-Mobile? I've been wanting to switch for a long time now. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know. I have to do research. I'm not going to switch to T-Mobile just for this, like, quite yet.
I don't feel like are they the ones that always drop?
T-Mobile?
Yeah.
At that first, I know when T-Mobile first became a thing, like, even when Verizon first became a thing, there were patches of dead space. But yeah, I think T-Mobile was particularly bad. I think they still kind of are in rural areas, but urban areas are pretty. As Brad and Justice switched to them like a month ago to T-Mobile. They must have known something we don't, or we didn't. Feed her, you fool. Can you give us a summary of what was announced? I just did like 5 minutes ago, so just hit that rewind button.
No details.
It was basically like a Biden White House press conference where either Biden or his secretary just walks off the stage and doesn't give any real answers. No, it wasn't that bad. It was interesting. They just couldn't tell us too much because they haven't even started the regulatory process yet. All right, so it says T-Mobile's coverage used to be horrible. I had them years ago, so this is a clever move by T-Mobile. One up everyone. Oh, Sprint. Yeah, Sprint's another carrier, aren't they? I forgot about Sprint. I think more people are moving like into our small town these past couple of years because our service has just gotten garbage. At least mine has. Like I have free data and I switch to it whenever our Wi-Fi is not working. We're still waiting on our Starlink to arrive. And so half the time when I switch off of our Wi-Fi to use data on my phone, the data doesn't even work for some reason. It might just be my crap phone. I need a new phone. I need a new carrier. I'm just gonna live Amish and not deal with this nonsense.
I want to. Let's do Amish.
Let's live Amish.
Donuts.
Amish of the world unite.
Ooh, tomorrow's Friday. I should go get donuts.
We have an Amish restaurant in town because this is a small town, and they have. It's called Der Dutchman. I call it Derp Dutchman, and they have pretty good donuts. I call them Derp donuts. Let's get some Derp donuts. All right, guys. Yeah, 15% off a month as a veteran. Yep, that's a reason why I have that particular carrier myself.
What? You don't share that with me.
I would probably get it cheaper if I just joined your family plan.
Actually, you probably could. You should.
All right, I'm going to call it there, guys, so I can get back to making this video again. Tomorrow's episode of SpaceX News is going to be quite compact, jam full of information. It's going to be good, and now I got to add this stuff into it. So if you have any more questions, watch tomorrow's episode. Maybe I'll get to answer some of them. And if not, then hold your breath till you pass out, and then you won't have to ask any questions because you'll be dead. All right, it's getting hot in here. Let's go.
Look, he's licking the carpet.
It's so hot in here. My dog's gone full tard. He's licking the carpet.
You little derp.
You little derp. Godspeed.